If you're a scrawny kid like I was, or can't get past the second round of a Cursaria ab workout, and you thought maybe it might be time to start building some muscle and strength, this is the video for you. 5 years ago, I made that same decision, and I've gained a little muscle along the way, and learned some cool skills. So I thought I'd do a video on how to start calisthenics as a beginner, a video I would have wanted when I started. So generally there's 4 forms of calisthenics: dynamics, statics, volumes, and weighted. Now, irrespective of what path you might choose later on in calisthenics, training these fundamentals is exactly where you should begin, and that's what this video is about. Now, this video is going to be a little bit on the longer side, but this is all important information. I'm going to split this video into 3 parts. The warm-up, which is always very important, push, pull, core, and leg exercises, as well as calisthenics programming and how to program efficiently. The warm-up. Although warm-ups might seem like a pain to do, they've got many benefits, so it's a good idea to start the habit of warming up early. A warm-up will help prevent injury, ensure better capabilities during the workout, and generally make the workout more smooth. Now, all these warm-up exercises are recommendations, and you don't have to do them all. You can just choose as many as you feel necessary so that you feel warmed up. For the warm-up, we put specific emphasis on the shoulders and the wrists, and when doing most calisthenics exercises, a lot of stress is placed on these, so it is important to focus on them while warming up. We warm the wrists up with exercises like wrist extensions and wrist flexion, like you see right now. Here, you use rocking movements to slowly stretch your wrists. Don't put too much pressure on the stretch, instead gradually stretch until you can feel a good stretch and rock back. For warming up the shoulders, we use a light resistance band and stretch both internal and external rotation of the shoulder. This is very important to take your time with because the shoulders are prone to injury in calisthenics. For example, the shoulders are used in exercises such as the handstand push-up, and you need a good warm-up to be prepared to do those exercises. For moves such as the L-sit, a hamstring stretch is also necessary. Finally, we warm up the scapula specifically, because this is used in almost every big calisthenics movement and needs extra attention. As the final stage of the warm-up, I do any regressions of the exercise I'm trying to do. So for example, if I'm trying to do push-ups, I would do knee push-ups first, just to get accustomed to the movement. Now, this depends on the workout, but I tend to warm up between 10 and 20 minutes before my sessions. For beginners, I'd say a 5 to 15 minute warm-up would be sufficient. Push movements are classified into 2 staple categories: vertical push and horizontal push. Now, the primary exercise in horizontal push is the push-up. In the push-up, you use your chest, shoulders, and triceps to push yourself from the bottom position. To execute the push-up, lower yourself down until your chest nearly touches the ground and push up until your arms are fully locked out. Make sure to keep your core tense throughout the movement. Your elbows should not flare out to the side during the movement, but should stay close to your lats. A more effective push-up variation for calisthenics is where you go into full scapular protraction at the top of the movement. This is great conditioning for later skills like the planche. I would recommend focusing on these instead of normal push-ups as a beginner. To go into full protraction, push with your hands through the floor to protract your scapula. If push-ups are still too difficult for you, these 2 variations will help you unlock the push-up. As you get better at elevated push-ups, you can slowly decrease the incline, making the exercise harder. This creates progressive overload, which is just a fancy word for how you build strength and muscle. Now, if push-ups are too easy for you, here are some push exercises that are more difficult. First of all, you could always slow down the concentric motion or the downward motion of the push-up and make the eccentric or the upward motion explosive. This will add another layer of difficulty. Decline push-ups are also a good way of making the exercise more difficult. A great exercise to start training for the planche is a pseudo-planche push-up. Here you lean as far forward as possible and execute a push-up. Angle your hands outward a little more to make the exercise more comfortable. Then we've got the diamond push-up, where we form a diamond with our hands and bring our chest to the diamond. As you get better at horizontal pushing exercises, there are plenty of exercises that will make it more difficult. For example, the archer push-up, or you could introduce explosiveness into your push-ups and do explosive push-ups as such onto vertical push. Now, the primary exercise in this category is the dip. A dip is executed going from the support hold until your shoulders are 90 degrees with your forearm. Then you push back up into the support hold. To work towards achieving the dip, you can hold the support hold. Make sure to depress your scapula. Additionally, you could do exercises like banded dips or negative dips, where you focus on going down as slowly as possible. If you don't have a dip bar, you can always put 2 chairs together and use those for dips. Now, the final important vertical push movement is the pike push-up. Here, you'll bring your body into a pike shape and lower yourself until your nose touches the ground. Then you push yourself back up. Make sure to lean forward when descending. To make the exercise easier, put your feet further away from your hands. To make it harder, elevate your feet on a stool. The pike push-up is a progression towards the handstand push-up. Now onto pull movements. The core vertical pull movement is, of course, the pull-up. The pull-up is one of the best exercises to build strength and an aesthetic physique in calisthenics. For the pull-up, start from a dead hang. Make sure your arms are a little further than shoulder width apart. To initiate the pull-up, you should depress your scapula and then pull, keeping your core engaged until your chin is over the bar. Then lower yourself again. There are a couple different variations of the pull-up depending on your hand placement. This is the supinated grip pull-up or the chin-up. Then there's also the neutral grip pull-up. Both the neutral grip pull-up and the chin-up are easier than the pull-up. If you can't do the pull-up yet, here are a couple exercises that will help you get it. First of all, the dead hang. Then you can also do scapula shrugs, which will help you initiate the pull-up movement. These are a little bit awkward at first, but think about pushing your shoulders down. You can also do pull-ups with resistance bands to make the exercise easier and so you can understand the movement. Additionally, you can do pull-up negatives, where you jump up or use a step stool to step up to the top of the motion and then slowly lower yourself down onto horizontal pull. Now, horizontal pull is quite simple. There's only one exercise suitable for beginners. This is the horizontal row. It's a great beginner's exercise for building a strong back and learning the pull-up. Think of it as the opposite of the push-up. You should bring your chest to the bar, then lower yourself again. To initiate the movement, depress your scapula like you would in the pull-up, and then pull. Since there aren't many horizontal and vertical pull exercises, I would take this time to fully perfect pull-up form, and you can play around with its variations. One of my favorite things to do to increase my strength is doing weighted pull-ups. Incorporating isometric holds into your pull-up movement, as shown in the video, will help you improve the weak portion of your pull-up, called the sticking point. I'm going to be very transparent. I don't actually train core exercises specifically in my training because I find you get enough core activation from contracting your core in basically all calisthenics movements. Because of the nature of calisthenics, all movements use your full body, so the core is always being worked, and I find that sufficient. Nevertheless, here are some effective core exercises for beginners. As a beginner, you should work towards unlocking the L-sit, and then you'll already have the core strength necessary for more advanced calisthenics moves. Contrary to many terrible 5-minute ab workout videos, there aren't many core exercises performed on the floor that are actually effective. But here are a couple. Seated pike lifts will help in contraction of the abs, which is vital for L-sits. If those are too difficult, which they might be, move your hands further back and or also lift one leg at a time. As most beginners are, and I was as well, I was obsessed with getting a 6-pack. Here's the secret. Everyone has abs, and whether you have a 4-pack, a 6-pack, or an 8-pack is genetic. Training them will make your core stronger, but without a low enough body fat, you won't be able to see them. Now, I was going to cover leg movements, but I realized that would be in bad faith, because I don't train my legs with calisthenics. For me, I enjoy training my legs in more functional ways. I've been doing Muay Thai for around 6 months now, and this has been an enjoyable way to train my legs. If you're out for big legs, conventional weightlifting like squats and RDLs are more effective than calisthenics leg exercises. Since your legs are already accustomed to your body weight, it is harder to progressively overload with leg exercises with your own body weight. If you do want to though, here are some calisthenics leg progressions to follow. Now onto workout programming. As a beginner, before thinking about any skills, it is important to focus on creating a strong foundation in the fundamental exercises. I would work up towards these goals before learning skills. There are 5 steps within a good workout. The first is the warm-up, where you're just moving your body to get it ready for the working sets. Choose a couple wrist stretches, some shoulder stretches, and some specific movements according to what exercise you'll be performing today. For example, if it's a push day, I would choose scapular shrugs in a push-up position to warm up. Then in the second step, we work regressions, working up towards our chosen exercise. Make sure to keep these very light. If you're going to focus on dips, for example, for the session, maybe choose to do some support holds and band-assisted dips beforehand. Then we have the working sets, where you'll choose 3 exercises to do. Choosing 3 exercises with 3 sets each is a great way to structure your working sets. For example, if you're working towards unlocking your pull-up, I would choose banded pull-ups, negative pull-ups, and horizontal rows as your 3 working set exercises. Here are some rep ranges and what they are ideal for. 3 to 5 reps is great for strength building. 6 to 10 reps is strength plus endurance, and 10 plus reps is just endurance work. Now, this doesn't mean you only do 3 to 5 reps because it's good for strength. It's about finding a healthy balance between these 3 rep ranges. Focused work and conditioning. Here you pick 2 to 3 exercises that focus on certain aspects of the exercise you are trying to achieve. If again we continue with the pull-up example, we could choose between hanging scapular shrugs, an isometric hold at a sticking point like the top of the pull-up, or an endurance hang to practice staying on the bar for longer. This focused work at the end of the session will be greatly beneficial in correcting your weak spots in an exercise and isolating muscle groups that need more practice. Lastly, we'll do some stretching at the end of the session to increase mobility and recovery time. Now, you might know this term from weightlifting, where progressive overload means adding additional weight to an exercise over time because you adapt to your current level. In calisthenics, because we don't use weight, there are 3 ways to progressively overload. By adding extra reps or sets to your workout, you progressively overload. This means you're getting stronger because you add, let's say, instead of 5 pull-ups on a set, you do 6 pull-ups. That's an increase in strength. Secondly, you could change the exercise and substitute it for a harder progression. For example, you could go from doing negative pull-ups to doing normal pull-ups. That is also an increase in strength and increases the load. Thirdly, even small improvements in your form over time is a progressive overload because the exercise becomes more demanding because you do it correctly. So to implement a workout schedule within a week, here are my recommendations. You could either choose the push-pull leg split or the full body split. Both are good. The push-pull leg split is characterized by less volume, the amount of sets multiplied by the amount of reps within a workout, but more frequency, so between 3 to 6 times in a week. For people who have less time to devote to working out, the full body split is ideal. Here, each workout takes longer because you train your full body every workout, but therefore it is only done 3 times per week. Now, in terms of rest, you should be taking rest days between workout days. An exception is if you train a different muscle group from the previous day's workout. Rest is important so that your body is recovered and ready to perform again. Alright guys, as a little gift at the end of this video, I've got an 8-week program that is for free that you guys can see. So it's in the school strength club. So as you can see, it's actually paid here, but I'll show you how to get it for free. So this is my strength club, and if you go to Classroom, it's a public thing. So if you go to the Classroom, you find the Strength Club here. And Strength Fundamentals 1 is free and open for people. So if you just log in and you create an account and you don't need to pay anything on my side, you can go through this Strength Fundamentals course. Now the course has everything you need and an 8-week workout PDF at the end. So 8-week workout PDF, free and everything. And if you want to, you can check it out. out, there's a link in the description. Now, if you do want to join my Strength Club community, I would be happy to have you. We've got 26 members so far, and I'm trying to build a big calisthenics community with a lot of courses on how to start calisthenics and some advanced courses and more to come so far. So if you do want to, check out the link in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.